This is the Great Basin prescribed fire and weather briefing for Friday, January 30th. Looking at our prescribed fire map, quite a bit of project activity listed through here from across the Sierra Front, much of central and eastern Nevada, through parts of Utah and into parts of western Idaho as well. Looking at precipitation amounts, and this is over the past 2 weeks, not much at all. This lighter shade of blue is just a few hundredths of an inch. Most areas receiving nothing. You can see the percent of normal. Most areas between 0 and 10% of normal for the entire 2-week period. This has worsened the short-term drought, the evaporative demand drought index, known as the flash drought. You can see the highest category, level 4, covering much of southern and central areas, and even getting up into parts of western Idaho as well. Also being reflected in our snowpack, which continues to struggle. Somewhere between 40 and 50% of normal for the southern half of the area, more like 60 to 70% across northern areas, maybe some areas closer to the 80-85% up in western Wyoming. Snow cover, a lot of that snowpack is in the highest elevations. Normally this time of year, late January, a lot of the snow cover itself extends down into the middle elevations, somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. Not the case here. It's staying mostly above 6,500 to 7,000, or mostly above 7,000 feet in most areas. Looking at our ERCs in some of our drier areas in the Spring Mountains in Nevada, you can see it up at record dry levels for this time of year, and smashing records down in eastern Utah, where it's been very, very dry the past couple of weeks, actually the past couple of months. So something we're watching and also concerned about for burn projects. If there is going to be a wind event with dormant brush and live fuel moisture is still very low, any project burns could see quite a bit of hazardous potential if we get a strong wind coming up. But fortunately, that's not the case anytime soon, because we have high pressure building in across much of California, steering the moisture, that green area through here, up through the Pacific Northwest. Air quality through here, not the best. Areas in white and yellow are pretty good ventilation or air quality or dispersion levels. Areas in red and purple are lower ventilation levels. You can see the relative humidity on the right-hand side. Upper teens in the far south, otherwise mostly 25 to 45% or even higher as you go from south to north. Surface winds overall fairly light, near calm in those purple and blue areas. Transport winds on the left a little stronger. These are more analogous to the ridgetop winds. You see some of the higher terrain in southwest Idaho could see transport winds somewhere above 20 miles per hour. Mixing heights, how high the smoke gets above the ground before it starts dispersing. A couple of thousand feet in the south, but very close to the ground in those bluish and purple shades. Now for tomorrow, you see how strongly that high pressure builds over the area. So same story, clear skies, light winds, strong morning inversions lasting well into the late morning or early afternoon hours. Poor air dispersion given through here. Light winds on the left, again, humidity, same story, upper teens to mid-20s in the southern third of the area, but very rapidly rising to 37%, 66, 58% for minimum humidity as you head further north. Again, transport winds light in most areas, and then maybe a little stronger up in the western Wyoming area. Again, vertical mixing, other than far southern areas, not very good. The high pressure slides a little further eastwards. On Sunday, there is a trough of low pressure approaching far northwest California and western Oregon. So we will see some improvement in the far western portions of the Great Basin with dispersion. You see the areas in white here across northwest Nevada. Winds picking up a little bit at the surface in those western areas. Still very light winds and continued inversions Sunday morning. Humidity, same story, teens to upper teens to mid-20s in the southern half of the area, but then 30 to 60% or higher further north. Transport winds, you see them in the Sierra and northwest Nevada, seeing more gusts above 20. Same story for parts of Idaho. Still very light transport winds across the eastern Great Basin. Again, vertical mixing pretty poor in most areas, but improving in western areas and also across parts of Idaho. 3-day precipitation totals, nothing. We stay bone dry through the first 3 days. You see all that moisture being steered into the coastal areas of the Pacific Northwest. And then on Monday, high pressure again tries to rebuild. And again, we see this deep atmospheric river of moisture being steered well to our north and west. So this blocking pattern's been in place for the past 2.5 months. Dispersion, areas in white and yellow, better overall dispersion. Now, you see the dispersion gets a lot worse as we go into Tuesday. Areas in red through here. Because the high pressure ridge builds in strongly across the area. The high pressure really starts building on Wednesday, centered over northern California. But some northerly wind flow may improve dispersion a little bit in southern and eastern areas. We'll see on that because as the high builds into the Pacific Northwest, ahead of the high, clockwise flow actually creates a pretty good northeast wind flow that could usher in some colder air, but it'll also bring in maybe some better dispersion. We'll see. But overall, no moisture, no precipitation expected days 4 and 5. This is Monday morning through Wednesday morning next week. And then Wednesday morning through Friday morning, no precipitation to be found anywhere across the western 2/3 of the country. All the moisture continues to be centered in the eastern portion of the United States. 7-day totals given through here, and the 8 to 14-day outlook, really no change to the pattern. This is going into the second week of February. We continue with above normal temperatures, means high pressure is going to maintain some sort of major control across our area, and drier than normal expected through the region. There could be some moisture pushing up from the south, getting towards the Four Corners, but still south of our area. So our snowpack will continue to dwindle and not looking good as we have the start of fire season only about 3 months away. We'll see how it goes. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day, great weekend. We'll have another briefing on this Monday morning.